I know you see it when it's too hard to believe in, cause you're witnessing the closest people leaving.
Alright, so we're starting the workout off today with muscle ups. We did 2 warm-up sets, just body weight times 2 reps, 2 times. And we just got 2 working sets of 1 rep, 10 pounds today. So we started to incorporate muscle ups into the program now, and it's first on the list. Let's go. So remember guys, typically the last 8 workouts I've been doing weighted pull-ups first, and I would incorporate muscle ups at the end of the routine. I told my coach that I really want to practice the muscle up, and he said, all right, we got to keep it in the beginning of the routine, and we got to train it like it's an Olympic skill lift. Low volume of work, very precision reps, right? So all he has me doing is 2 working sets of 1 rep, and today was 10 pounds, and we did 2 warm-up sets, so 2 sets of 1 rep with 10 pounds added. So for our first day of training muscle-ups in the program, we started with 10 pounds. All right, guys, exercise 2, weighted pull-ups, usually exercise 1. Working weight today is 77.5, got 4 sets of 6. I attempted this 77.5 a few days ago when I was in Florida, and I couldn't hit it. I hit the 4 sets of 75 a couple days prior to that, but the 77.5 wasn't getting it when I trained it, right? I was probably overtrained, so I've have about 4 days off right now. Let's go, set 1, 77.5 pounds. So you guys can see on the split screen right there on the right side, those are my attempts back in Florida. Granted, I was training on a very fat bar there, but I was also able to hit my 75 pounds the previous session when I was down in Florida. So I probably was just a little overworked from the traveling and everything. So I decided to repeat the 77.5 pound working sets when I got back to New York because the sets weren't as clean as they should be. So now we're back in the gym, and like I said, working weight for today was 77.5 pounds again, 4 sets of 6 reps. Let's go. So we're back at our home gym, a lot more comfortable on a normal size bar. And you can see, after a few days rest, this 77.5 pounds is moving a lot better, chin over the bar every repetition. Let's go. 4th set, and I'm resting about 4 to 5 minutes now in between each set. 77.5, last set. Let's go. So I only filmed sets 1, 2, and 4 of the weighted pulls. And you can see here's the 4th set. Every rep, chin over the bar. And like I said, he recommends if you're going to dead hang, only dead hang on the rep before the last rep. So on the 5th rep of dead hang, then we hit the 6th rep smooth. All right, exercise 2, weighted dips. Working weight today, 137.5. So next up, we got weighted dips. And every dip session so far, the weight's been moving up consistently. So we're at 137.5 pounds. That's the benefit of using fractional weights, right? You don't always got to go up 5 pounds at a time. You guys can go up 2.5 pounds, 1 pound, half a pound. Any increase in weight is always going to be progressive overload, right? Because you're still doing more weight. So I got 3 45-pound plates and a 2.5 to make it 137.5. And you guys are going to see what I mentioned in the beginning of the clip is I tried using a longer strap because my coach said the lower the weight hangs, the lower the center of gravity, and it's easier to control. So I tried to extend my chain by using some carabiners here. And you guys are going to see what happens after this first set. So first set, set 1, 137.5 pounds. Goal is 6 reps. Let's go. And that was the 6th rep, and you can see as soon as I came down, the whole chain snapped, right? The weight was hanging too low, and it ripped right off the carabiner, tore a hole in my dip belt. Now I got to get a new belt. Luckily, my gym has dip belts, and to be honest, I think this is the dip belt that I left here years ago and that they just scooped up. So 137.5 pounds again, and now I have the dip belt strapped on the way I normally do, hanging a little higher, and again, now there's a little more support on the band, on the belt I mean, and the weight does not snap off after the 6th rep. So 2 sets down. Again, the goal is 3 sets of 6 reps with the 137.5, and here's set 3. Let's get into it. And just to ensure you guys see full lockout, I try to exaggerate and lock out each repetition here, try to get a little bit of a pause on the top. And on the 6th rep, I try to pause on the bottom just to give that extra tension.
0.5. Light. Extra lockdown every rep. Alright, let's go. Overhead press, set 1. We got a 35. And the fractional weights, half a pound on each side. So 116 is the working weight today, 2 sets of 8.
So far in every session, the overhead press has been the hardest exercise for me. This is a movement that I used to love doing, and I practice it very often. I'm pretty strong at it. But ever since I started to increase that range of motion, working on getting the bar all the way to my chest every repetition, the weight has just been kicking my ass. I've been making the slowest jumps each week with this overhead press. As you see here, the previous session, all we did was 115 pounds, and I literally just jumped up 1 pound on this session right here. So 116 pounds, 2 sets of 8 repetitions, and granted, guys, we're doing this exercise after heavy weighted dips, so it's pressing and then another pressing exercise. So I'm going to have some fatigue in the shoulders built up from hitting the dips, which I expect. But yeah, this movement still is a lot tougher than I expected it to be.
4-minute break right now. 1 more round.
All right, getting into set 2, like I mentioned, I was taking 4-minute breaks around for the dips, and I thought I was going to take 4 minutes for this overhead press set, but I decided to give it 5 minutes just because that first set was extremely hard, those 8 reps. So here's set 2, and you're going to see here, form is good, the depth is good. I tried going a little narrow at my grip, but even though that 5-minute rest period was a long break, I still ended up falling a rep short here. So I caught 7 reps on set 2. That means next session I know that I'm going to have to stay at this 116 pounds until I could get both sets of 8 reps. And that was the 7th rep. You can see how much of a struggle that was. And here I'm going to go for the 8th rep, and I get it up about halfway, and I didn't want to fatigue too much, so I just called it a wrap.
Alright, last exercise. Squats, deep as possible. 240, 3 sets of 5, set 1. Let's go.
Alright, so last exercise of the routine. Like I said, it's deep squats, and we're at 240 pounds today for our working sets. All I do is one warm-up set of 135 for 3 reps, and then I do one more warm-up set, 185 for 3 reps, and then I go right into the working weight. So the squats, again, have been the movement that I've been able to make the biggest jumps on so far week to week. We started at 205, and we're already at 240, so increase of 30 pounds. But remember, I was squatting 265, 275 for 5 repetitions, but not going ass to grass. So again, the increased range of motion is bringing a new intensity to the exercise that my body wasn't used to, and I've been able to make significant gains each session.
Let's go. Set 3, 240.
Alright guys, so last set of the day, I only filmed sets 1 and 3 of the squats. Set 2 was smooth. Again, the squats have been able to make significant progress each week, or each session for that matter. We've been doing 5 to 10 pound jumps depending on the session, right? So I'm sure we're going to go up to 245 next session. A 10 pound jump might be a little high right now. But set 3, full body workout done. This routine took about 90 minutes. Remember guys, with strength training you got to take sufficient rest periods in order to make sure that you're going to be able to hit the required repetitions that you hit the set before. Hope you enjoyed the workout. Follow along with the progress, guys. You can see me getting stronger session to session. You guys can follow along and get the same progress that I'm making. Scale the exercise and the weights down to your level, and let's get these gains.
No sad story, I ain't here for a symphony, no sympathy. When I was on the bench, you wouldn't sit with me. Now I'm on the court and I'm balling, my time's coming.